My name is Peter Mudamba Mudamba. I prefer going by the name Mudamba Mudamba. And I've been, for the longest time, the programs director at DocuBox, the East African Documentary Film Fund. But now I moved to become the general manager. Well, we can only say that if we don't conform, we'll be left out. So we are trying to understand AI so that we are able to use AI as a tool to improve our work, and also at the same time to be able to inform our filmmakers on what to do and what not to do in case we realize that there's a path which will be a bit dangerous to them. And that's why we come in a lot more to understand where the creatives will end up being protected and how they can be protected. We are film producers. We support filmmakers with grants to make films. At the same time, we take them through trainings, and therefore we are trying to use that lens to understand what else do we need to most likely share with the filmmakers for them to maybe demand and ask that they go through an AI training for them to deeply understand the space they are working in. I wouldn't say that I know much on the side of the international practices. I only see what's going on with the AI war that's taking place, whether it should be the US to take charge, China, etc. And I'm asking myself, why can't we as Africans also lead from the front and come up with authentic AI policies that can be able to guide us? I mentioned that the African Audiovisual, I think, Center is supposed to be inaugurated here in Nairobi, which is an AU initiative, but audiovisual will end up being centered in Nairobi, Kenya, which then means Africa can look into Kenya. If that be the case, then Kenya has to start leading from the front, especially if it's going to be an audiovisual cinema space, and cinema is so affected by AI. How do we understand that space, and how do we lead from the front? Definitely, it ought to. There's no way, because one thing that will happen is we are already seeing an erosion of culture. That's what I would say. Erosion of culture is one thing is when you start removing the individual faces from the face of what you are consuming, you're already infringing and affecting the culture of the people. So I would like to see stuff that would actually be able to not replace, but to enhance what Africanness is all about and who we are, because we came into the space for the authentic African voice, authentic filmmakers to represent our story the way we wanted it to be told, because it had been told by other third parties for so long.